Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing buy low running backs for week numero 5 of the 2020 NFL season. We are going to be discussing not one, not two, not three, but four guys talking about the running back position. We're going to have a great time in this video. If you end up having a great time, you end up having a fun time, you end up being like, you know what? This was entertaining, and I learned a lot of information. It's like when you're a kid and you're watching Bill Nye the Science Guy, and you're like, you know what? I learned a lot. Thank you, Bill. And then he's like, Bill. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. So in this video, we're going to be talking about 4 running backs that you guys are going to want to buy low on. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button down below if you end up enjoying. In this video, I am joined with my compadre, my boy, Tyler Moss NFL on Twitter. His website is thesporter.site. Tyler, you can have the floor here real quick.
Dude, I love Bill Nye. Like, I would do anything for that man. You know what I mean? Like, I talked about it in the wide receivers video, which, by the way, is probably the most electric piece of content that's ever scraped this channel. No offense, Nick, but that video was electric. It probably isn't, but please check it out. That would mean a lot. And check out these buy low running backs. We're about to come at you with the hard stuff. I'm talking mom and dad's cabinet, the absolute hard stuff. I mean, the hard stuff, you know what you get in the shop with the 3 X's that mom doesn't let you go into. I'm talking that shop. We're hitting you with the hard content tonight.
Yeah,
today.
let's get it, baby. Josh Jacobs, baby, is my first buy low running back of the Las Vegas Raiders, going up against the Kansas City Chiefs this week in Kansas City. Now, that's an in-division matchup, so it's going to be quite the slugfest over there in Arrowhead, where they are actually allowed to have fans. Now, the last 3 weeks of Josh Jacobs' NFL season have been absolutely dick cheese. We're talking about in the foreskin, you didn't wash it, and it's been a couple of weeks. That's what we're talking. It does not look very good. Now, last week up against the Buffalo Bills, definitely a tough run defense, so you can kind of expect a situation like this to happen, but he's still Josh fucking Jacobs, and he's had 3 bad games in a row up against the Buffalo Bills, I believe, at home in the Roomba Dome in Las Vegas. 15 rushes, 48 rushing yards, 3 receptions, 4 targets, 25 receiving yards, 10.3 PPR points, and 8.8 half PPR points. That doesn't scream out, hey, Josh Jacobs is pretty good. The other 2 weeks also would not scream that out. Week 1 was Josh Jacobs' really only good game, where it went for over 30 PPR points. And I kind of do expect that to be the normal for Josh Jacobs. Obviously, the fact that Henry Ruggs has been missing, definitely, in my opinion, has hurt Josh Jacobs. With Ruggs out there, they have no idea what's going to be happening. Without Ruggs there, they're like, holy shit, all we have to do is stop Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, and Josh Jacobs. Not very complex. This week he gets Andy Reid, the Walrus, and the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think that Josh Jacobs is going to make his triumphant return in this game. He simply cannot be this shit 4 games in a row, or this will be the 4th game in a row where he's being bad. I think that he has a nice bounce back here, and I think that even if he doesn't play all that well up against the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm sure that this is probably one of the lowest buy low points for Josh Jacobs. I really do expect him to bounce back, considering how involved he has been in the pass catching game, considering last year it was not really involved at all. This year has been getting at least 2 receptions every single game, so I think that Josh Jacobs is a guy that I'm really looking for, the nice diamond in the rough, even though he's a diamond not even in the rough, because at the beginning of the season, this guy was going in the 1st round. Now he's a guy that a lot of people are pissed off at. They're saying Josh Jacobs and the Las Vegas Raiders are fraudulent, but in reality, Josh Jacobs is very real and very great. So, Tyler, what do you think about Josh Jacobs?
The Raiders are going to be the Raiders, and they're going to get you wins. And Josh Jacobs is the forefront for those wins, baby. You're winning fantasy matchups because Josh Jacobs is back. He bike. He done with He done with the East Coast games. No more Pittsburgh. No more Patriots. Same team, same tough defense. You want no more Buffalo. It's a joke. You're done with those teams. You're done with them. You still get Miami and the Jets coming up. Beauty matchups, baby. That's where you're going to be eating. Josh Jacobs is ready to play. He's got Kansas City this week in division. Oh, he's going to be gorgeous. He's going to be beautiful. And you're going to have him on your team because you made the right decision. You listened to Nick and you're like, I'm going to go pick him up. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be big smart. You know why? You're a big brain boy or girl, depending. We know you're out there, ladies. Represent us in the comments. We love you almost as much. Equally. Everyone equally. I've gone off the rails with this. Go trade for Josh Jacobs.
We love women here.
Big support. Big
Big
support.
support. They all have
Everyone,
huge cocks. As I say in every live stream, the women that donate have humongous cocks. So,
everybody love everybody.
exactly. Tyler, who is your first guy that you're like, you know what? Let me buy this guy low.
Yeah, if you haven't already clicked off the video, please go trade for this man. He can't be this bad. This is unreasonably bad. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Buddy's got the clap, but this is a joke. Like, this is so bad. Like, why is Kenyan Drake miserable? Like, he shouldn't be this rough. I don't really get it. I mean, like, 14, 11, 8, 3. Like, what a decline. Like, Buddy's just going in the pipes. He's going down the toilet. Call your local plumber because you got to get him out of there and you got to find something to do with him. Maybe you go pick him up. I mean, on the off chance that he actually plays up to the value that, I don't know, you drafted him for, you got to feel pretty good about it. He gets the Jets and Dallas and Seattle coming up. I mean, like, maybe. I mean, maybe he gets back on a roll. You know, he hops back on the train, chugga along with DeAndre Hopkins, and they go for a ride. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hell yeah, the steam engine, baby. Please be better. A note from everyone in the industry. Thank you.
Exactly. Now, remember at the beginning of the season, Kenyon Drake tweeted some shit. He's like, you know what? I'm going to lead you guys to my fantasy football championships, right? And then he sucked complete and utter fat hog. And then, like, 2 weeks ago, he's like, you know what? If you guys want to drop me, drop me. Some other owner will actually benefit from it. And you know what? That other owner is probably pissed off because you dropped him because of how shit he has been. But at the end of the day, I believe with Tyler, it cannot be this bad anymore. This guy was brought in here from the Miami Dolphins to be good, to be great, and he just has not been that thus far this season. I think that he returns to form this week up against the New York Football Jets, who, might I add, may be starting cool Joe fucking Flacco because for some reason Sam Darnold is not okay to play after he got hurt in that game and then returned and played kind of good.
I'll tell you, the only thing the Jets are starting is an OnlyFans for Adam Gase because that's the only thing that's bringing that team money this year.
That's a fact. Kenyon Drake, though, will have a bounce back game this week up against the Jets. Now, I feel about as comfortable as starting him as using a condom that has been ripped in half and shredded by Wolverine's own hands. With that said, though, Kenyon Drake, I believe in him. I've always believed in him. And I think this week up against the Jets, we see a big game. This is probably the lowest you can buy him. Can't get much worse than this. My next guy to talk about here, buy low running back. We talked about him before in another video. That's Jonathan Taylor, Indianapolis Colts running back. Now, Tyler argues that he doesn't like Jonathan Taylor, right? He's like, you know what, Jonathan Taylor is not very good, but he is good. But the problem is he's just not getting enough usage. This Indianapolis Colts offense is a complete and utter dumpster fire. Now, I agree that they are kind of a dumpster fire, but what I don't agree with is the fact that he is going to be getting a lot of usage regardless. This week, he gets the Cleveland Browns. So obviously, he's going to be playing up against Myles Garrett, who is quite the scary man. With that said, 17 rushes last week up against the Chi-Town Bears, 68 rushing yards, 1 yard off of being very nice, 1 target, 1 receptions, 11 receiving yards, 8.9 PPR points, and 8.4 half PPR points. Now, Jonathan Taylor has been absolutely a disappointment since week number 1. Week 1, he played pretty good. The last couple of weeks, not so good, even in plus matchups. Now, this week up against the Cleveland Browns, I do expect the bounce back game. I don't expect the Indianapolis Colts to be able to win this game, but I do expect it to end up being a close back and forth affair, kind of like a divorce between your parents. So with that said, Jonathan Taylor going to be a good running back for the rest of the season. I believe in it. I believe in the guy, and I believe in the man with 70 kids, Philip Rivers, to figure out a way to turn this around. So, with that said, in my opinion, I think Jonathan Taylor's a buy low guy. I don't think that this shit can continue. All of these guys, it just seems like they have to turn the ship around, have to hit him with a 360 no scope off the top of rust. So, Jonathan Taylor is going to be my second buy low running back. And Tyler, you can go ahead and give your argument against him.
His snap share is rough. We'll start there. That's been something that's kind of disappointing is how little he's been on the field. It's been rough. 68% was the highest he saw, and he hasn't seen close to that since in week 2. 46 last week after 40 the week before. He hasn't seen close to the 5 targets he saw in week 1. Sorry, 6 targets. He hasn't seen close to that since. Especially last week where he had 1. This is just not a good situation anymore. It's unfortunate. Philip Rivers down. Don, and this is not a hammer Don.
Hammer
It's
Don.
rough. He's getting a lot of volume. He's not doing too much with it. I feel like he's touchdown dependent, which is unfortunate. I think this team just has a ways to go, and more to that, his schedule's quite rough. A lot of inconsistency is what I see in it. Specifically, he'll have week 8 Detroit, but then he goes week 9 Baltimore, and then he goes week 10 Tennessee, and week 11 Green Bay, and week 12 Tennessee, and then he gets Houston again, but then it's at Vegas, and it's like I just see a lot of up and down inconsistencies, and you're going to struggle to actually want to play this guy, which is unfortunate because he is a guy I do believe in. Something I did mention in the sell when I talked about Jonathan Taylor is if you're in a dynasty league, please go acquire this man after the owner is kicking himself, because there's a really good chance that Jonathan Taylor's owned in a lot of losing fantasy teams, because week 15 against the Texans, he's going to destroy, and he will bring you to the championship week where he faces the toughest run defense in the league in Pittsburgh, and he's going to lose people matchups. And you're going to have a lot of people cursing his name, and they're going to be hating Jonathan Taylor, and I think that's when you buy him. But it's just a tough situation right now.
Big tough for Jonathan Taylor, but I believe he'll be able to overcome it. So, Tyler, who is your last buy low running bike of the week?
This is and I've talked about it. I do it most trade videos. I say a guy who I kind of believe in to be the guy you trade for after the week, just to kind of get your mind cooking and thinking about what you can do, because these do release on Wednesday, Thursdays. So you want to have something right out of Sunday to just, hold on to. And that guy's going to be David Montgomery. This team's going against the number 2 run defense this week in Tampa Bay. He's had a very inconsistent, rocky start to the season. He's a guy I still believe in. Tariq Cohen out. After that Tampa Bay week, he's got Carolina. He's got the Rams, which I don't think is that hard for him. He's got kind of a tough schedule, but he still has Minnesota on the back end. He's got Detroit on the back end, Houston on the back end. He's got Minnesota week 15, Jacksonville week 16. The playoff schedule is gorgeous for David Montgomery. He's just going to have some iffy weeks in between there, and you gotta believe in him. I think he's a good guy to go and acquire. The schedule's really nice on the back end. It's kind of why I wanted to point that out. Just a guy to kind of get your brain thinking. Should I go acquire this guy? Maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe at the deadline. David Montgomery may be your guy. Just think about it. Get it cooking in your head. Maybe if you have one of these guys that we told you to sell high, maybe look at David Montgomery. Could be a good addition for your team.
Yeah, I still believe in David Montgomery, just like you said. I mean, with Tariq Cohen being out again, just like you said, that's going to bode very well for him getting more opportunity in the pass catching game. David Montgomery has been absolutely atrocious thus far this season, and I think that he's going to be able to play much better. Now, if you look at Tyler's glasses, he's currently answering a text instead of paying attention to me, which is very rude. But with that said, thank you guys all for paying attention to this video. David Montgomery is going to be much better. I do agree with you, though, this week up against the Buccaneers is going to be a very tough matchup. I think he could prevail, honestly, in any week, though, just due to the amount of work that he does get in that offense. It's just the work hasn't led to any touchdowns or anything, because 9-inch Nick Foles did not look very good this week, but 9-inch Nick Foles is going to roll into Tampa Bay and slay Tom Brady just like he did in the Super Bowl with his huge fucking cock. So thank you guys all for watching this video. Make sure you click that subscribe button down below. Make sure you check out all the other trade videos we have dropped this fucking week. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Probably going to be running back rankings. Probably also might be some wide receiver rankings. So have a great rest of your guys' day. It's probably Thursday. There's some Thursday night football later. Ready to roll. StuFiner.com. Not actually. I'm not Stu Finer. So the Sporter.site. At Notorious Fantasy on Twitter. At Notorious FNTSY. At Tyler Moss NFL on Twitter. Notorious Fantasy on YouTube. That's how you're fucking watching this video. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you sexy, beautiful bastards tomorrow with some more heaters.
The Raiders.
Raiders!